stupid. We're ready. Now displaying your current order grade. Looks like we've finally become part of the chiral network. Between this and the life support systems you brought us, we can begin giving proper treatment to all the folks suffering from chiral contamination. Oh, I got a little present I'd like to give you as a thanks. Take it with my compliments. Those beauties are pretty hard to come by these days. And I just know they'll look great on you. Oh, in addition to that, I've shared the data for a Boca skeleton. It's a piece of equipment. And without a... We've got a lot riding on you drawbridge folks. I hope you won't let us down.
Hello, Sam. It's me. More than 50% of the Australian continent is now connected to the chiral network. And it was you who made this possible. On behalf of the company, allow me to extend my sincerest thanks. It's likely that the difficulties we face will only continue to increase as we press on. But you and your comrades will rise to the challenge. Of this I have no doubt whatsoever. The probability of creating a new plate gate rises with each expansion. Do what you must to make it happen.
Sam, it's happened again. A disruption in the tar currents. We won't be able to head your way just yet.
Sam, this could be the result of that Nirvana phenomenon, right? We won't know unless we take a look outside.
an invitation.
Back in Nirvana, or whatever you care to call this riddle of a place. Strange. I feel as though my body's become lighter. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Sam? You might be able to jump much further than usual.
Gordon! Contatto! Heads up!
Above us, something's coming. Watch out!
Hunt them down! Contact! Contatto! Taking fire!
Isotopes are a real nuisance. Think there might be a way to destroy them? Come on. Got him on the ropes. He's trying to flee to the church down below us. Questa ti mette a posto. Recognize his face?
No, I don't.
Sam, do you read me? Come in, Sam. Come in.
We were whisked away to that strange place again.
What? We only lost you for a few seconds.
And time must flow differently over there, like on the beach.
Well, glad you're all right. The tar currents seem to have settled down, so we'll be able to surface there shortly. Just sit tight, okay?
Sam, why don't we return to the DHV Magellan and get some rest? You can ask Fragile to look into that card you obtained as well.
Can anybody hear me? I can hear you.
Seems all the possessions you had earlier are in that open space over there.
Take care of yourself, Sam. Remember to rest, Sam. I will always support you.
That place we were sent to, the land of the dead, it strikes me as odd that it was submerged underwater. And did you see those columns of ice, the ones descending from the surface all the way to the floor? Afterwards, I realized what they reminded me of. The columns were reminiscent of a phenomenon known as brinicles. When seawater freezes and turns to ice, salt concentrates are released into the surrounding water. This brine is heavier than the water around it due to its higher density. It therefore sinks deeper into the ocean. As it flows towards the ocean floor, its lower temperature results in the formation of ice. And as this process continues, it can produce column-like ice structures. Any living creatures unfortunate enough to become entangled in these can be frozen solid. Little wonder they're called icicles of death. Sam, when I saw that coffin, I was reminded of a rather unorthodox type of psychotherapy. The patient lies down inside a coffin, which is then closed, plunging them into darkness. In being subjected to this simulated experience of being laid to rest, they may find a measure of peace and comfort. If you spot a coffin that seems suitable for this, why not climb inside and see what happens? Ah, yes. Each time we take the DHV Magellan into the currents, the level of tar pollution on board increases, which is why everyone has to pitch in to clean the ship after every trip. In spite of that, we still find ourselves stymied by nasty blockages like this one. Tarman broke 3 mops attempting to dislodge a particularly stubborn wad before throwing up his hands in despair. Although he failed in that epic struggle, I can only respect his dedication. Apropos of nothing, the doctor's talents were a sight to behold. A psychic midwife. I've never had the opportunity to watch one at work before. How many children has she held in those hands of hers, I wonder? I expect she knows a great deal about BB units as well. Come to think of it, I spoke with Rainey earlier. She tells me Tomorrow's making excellent progress with her studies. Before we left to see the Motherhood, she was tackling and solving relatively elementary problems. But it seems she's since progressed to intermediate and higher level ones. At this rate, she might well surpass our own capabilities before long. To learn is to grow, and to watch her grow so quickly has been a delight. Sam, so that was the esteemed data scientist. They didn't take much convincing to become a part of the chiral network after all, did they? I suppose the appeal of APAS's analytical capabilities was too much to ignore. And they must be quite the fan of pizza, too. The considerable weight of our last delivery did not escape my notice. Just how many pizzas do you think the chef was able to pack into that container? Huh. A suit that prevents its wearer from being recognized by AI cameras. Eyes are the most prominent sensory organ of many life forms. Those of us who specialize in psychology often learn a great deal about them. You see, what the eye and the camera perceive is compared against past experiences and data to yield a conclusion. Perhaps this suit exploits a flaw in how AI cameras perform this function. Which is to say, you shouldn't presume you won't show up on these cameras. But I think it may utilize a form of optical jamming to obfuscate your appearance. In this way, it ensures the system doesn't interpret you as an intruder. Sam, about the hot springs. We should go out and try to dig a new one. They can soothe aches and pains, improve circulation, and depending on the mineral content, confer all kinds of other benefits. But more than that, it simply feels good to soak and relax. You should never miss a chance to take a dip. The best time to avail yourself of a hot spring is 8 or so in the evening. Call it a doll's intuition. Come to think of it, I see that the armed survivalists have gotten their hands on a new assortment of weapons. And our own arsenal has since been expanded, courtesy of the pizza chef. People seem less and less inclined to give others the benefit of the doubt these days. I fear it's going to continue to get harder to earn the trust of strangers in the future. You know, Sam, I was just thinking. That friend of the Dowser we rescued was a very brave man, don't you think? To go to such a dangerous place all by himself, in spite of the countless potential risks. Perhaps it would have been better if he wasn't quite so brave. Sam, the armed survivalists don't seem concerned in the least about causing people's deaths. It's unconscionable, terrifying too. Man, the thought alone's enough to make me feel sick. Sam, none of us can go through catastrophic trauma without being forever scarred by the experience. Trying to reclaim a sense of normalcy through routine can help the heart to heal. Your deliveries are making a big difference, Sam. For others and for yourself. Apropos of nothing, necrobiotes are fascinating. And they seem to have become more commonplace lately as well. Ever since you and I were swallowed up by that tar fall, to be specific. This sudden increase in the population should be considered yet another example of an environmental anomaly. If we successfully extend the network across the continent and trigger a plate gate to appear, such anomalies should begin to wane. Ah, yes. You've been receiving more dangerous orders. I respect your willingness to undertake them without any fuss. Please, don't hesitate to rely on me for assistance if you ever find yourself in need of it. While I'm incapable of fighting like you, if you throw me toward your enemies, I can keep them distracted, for a short while at least. Sam, the brigands' vehicles are of a rather antiquated design, significantly different from the standard pickup off-roader. You won't be able to get them repaired at distribution centers or on the DHV Magellan. Can't even store them in a garage. They're enemy property after all. Too risky to bring inside our facilities. Could be booby-trapped. I'd not get into the habit of using them too often if I were you. Sam, I was looking into the conditions that led to the bushfire we escaped. It seemed to have been caused by a phenomenon known as chiral cinders. Unlike other items washed up by the currents, cinders violently erupt from the tar and soar through the sky before crashing to the ground. This phenomenon has been observed across the continent and has led to an increase in bushfires. It's one more potential threat to keep an eye out for. Apropos of nothing, ever wanted to learn more about the various creatures housed at the animal shelter, Sam? Well, there's a speaker outside the facility that they use to broadcast updates. Might be good to check in on some of the animals we've taken there once in a while. Apropos of nothing, I'm so glad that we were able to save that kangaroo's life. It's easy to forget that humans aren't the only creatures affected by the Death Stranding. Protecting our remaining wildlife isn't just the right thing to do. It can also help us to better understand how the environment has changed. Apropos of nothing, the kangaroo you rescued is currently being cared for and studied at the animal shelter. You know, if you ever want to stop by and see how it's doing, I wouldn't object. Sam, are you curious how I maintain my youthful appearance? It's because Rainey lets me shower in her core fall from time to time. Apropos of nothing, Rainey used to be much more quiet and withdrawn. She seemed averse to spending time with people. Dolls, too. It was singing and dancing that got her to open up. I'm something of a performer myself, though I've never showed anyone. Sam, the Rainbow Valley greenhouses are the product of our researchers' hard work. And thanks to you and me, those invaluable structures will endure for a good while yet. apropos of nothing, there are organisms in this area that I don't believe I've ever laid eyes on before. My understanding is that they're called chiral creatures, and they come in all shapes and sizes. Apparently, they will drain your batteries if you come into contact with them. There may be other deleterious effects for all we know. And really, you shouldn't be bothering them anyway. There's nothing to be gained from it. It's not like they drop coins when defeated. Sam, you know, I've been thinking about what happened to Lou. Fragile holds herself personally responsible for those tragic events. If Higgs was indeed behind the attack, then I can understand why she feels that way. Why she blames herself for setting everything in motion. But she's resolved not to let any of it show. To bottle it up and put on a brave face. She didn't used to smoke before, did she? I suspect it's a form of self-punishment she's adopted. Vengeance gives rise to a cycle of violence, and Higgs wouldn't have it any other way. But she's committed to helping you complete this journey, together with Lou, to get you back on your feet. And if she believes she has to bury her emotions and play the part of a hard-nosed commander to do that, she will. That's what I think, anyway. I'm sure you can understand her position.
His name is Neil. Neil Vanna.
Neil Vanna? Oh, here I thought he said Nirvana. There must still be tar in my ears.
It seems that the ID card you brought back belonged to the man himself. Charlie helped me dig up the details.
The card was issued by Bridges years ago, when the chiral network was still being developed. Records confirm that Vanna has been dead for some time.
So he was a member of Bridges?
No, it doesn't look like he was.
Vanna was a porter contracted by Bridges to handle jobs with special requirements. Like all of you, he was a doom sufferer who leveraged his abilities.
A top-notch porter by all accounts. He worked the Mexican border. Brought over all kinds of useful stuff.
Ostensibly, resources and medical supplies. But in truth, he transported drugs and other prohibited goods.
So he was a smuggler.
Vanna's ID card served as a key to some of Bridges' secure installations, though only a select few, of course. Specifically, those dedicated to the BB experiments, along with various other medical facilities.
I believe that the place you went to for counseling was one of them.
But everything in that area was obliterated 11 years ago by a void out, one in which Neil Vanna died. And from which you alone, Sam, were fortunate enough to emerge alive. Prior to all that, your counseling sessions made you a regular visitor, yes? Well, records indicate Vanna frequented the same facility. There's a fair chance that the two of you might have met before. Do you recall seeing him?
It's hardly surprising. A great number of people pass through there all the damn time. No one would remember them all.
Accessing the delivery terminal at Eastport Knot. While you attend to that, we'll continue
By the way, Sam, you saw Tomorrow with the apples in the corridor, right? It seems she was training, trying to gain more control over her temporal abilities, taking green unripened apples and attempting to age them until they're red and ready to eat. But she's still having trouble getting it just right. She's taking it too far and making them rotten. There's no need to rush things. She'll get the hang of it soon enough. In the meantime, let's continue to support her.
You're mine.
From this location, you should be able to see some snow-capped mountains, Sam. Your next objective can be found in the heart of them, in the form of the Eastern Environmental Observatory. Once again, you'll need to link up several sites en route to this destination. The first such site to be brought online is the Chronobiologist Shelter, which is due west. Pick up the main order on this delivery terminal in order to begin.
Order accepted. Thank you.
detected. Intensity. G-scale. 6.
Hear the silence in holes and the spring, like a morning that it was found there, missing and crying.
Good day, Sam. Drawbridge credentials verified. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that you...
Good to see. This cargo looks absolutely wonderful. You sure took good care of it. Oh, wow, you found this? I should have no trouble. All right. Use your Cupid to connect to my shelter.
Now displaying your current order grade.
I'm finally part of the chiral network. I've been looking forward to this moment. I should be able to conduct research at a faster pace than ever. Please accept this by way of thanks. I picked up this accessory in the UCA. You should try attaching it to your backpack. Who knows? It might bring you good luck. Oh, I hope this isn't the last time we... And
Well then, Sam. By the way, we have info on Nilvana to share. Could you join me on the bridge?
Order completed. Well done. Order accepted.
Feels good.
mine.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected.
Oh, hey. I appreciate you coming all this way. Allow me to take a look at that cargo you're carrying. Have to say, this looks bad. Though, should still be able to learn something from it. Thanks for dropping it off. Didn't expect you to bring me this, but I'm glad you did.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Putting all the pieces... In all honesty, though. Yeah, it's gotta be... I've been...
Order completed. Well done. Order accepted. Thank you.
Okay, Sam. Why don't we begin by considering what we already know? If nothing comes to mind, take a look at the order details to refresh your memory. rider attacks were reported in this area. Look around. See anything strange?
Okay.
Nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on.
So far, so good.
Sam, about the headless riders we're after. I've been thinking, what if we were to try replicating the conditions of the previously reported attacks? A road at night, a tri-cruiser. I've got it. We should take an evening spin near the site the attacks took place.
And just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated. The delivery.
Vehicle ready. Please drive carefully.
happened to it? Don't tell me it's been hacked. When do highways float in the air? Up, up, and away! A highway in the sky. And now we find ourselves trapped. You ready for anything, Sam?
I prepared this little stage here special for you and you alone. And I know you're gonna make the most of it.
Pigs? These must be ghost mechs? I suppose there were no headless riders after all then. We need to destroy them all. Let's get the move on, Sam. Sam, try ramming their vehicle with yours. Nice one! You're a pro! See it, Sam? One of them is different from the others. That has to be the unit that's hacked into the auto paper. Sam. I think you took care of every last one. Highway disappearing? This isn't good, Sam. Oh! Ah! Whew. Seems the day is ours, Sam. Oh, what a relief to have made it safely back to the ground. There's no sign of our adversaries. That strange road has vanished without a trace, too. Everything seems fine now. Let's go and give the ghost hunter the good news.
Well, well. Handled that job for me, huh? Let me just review the order details. Someone sure knows how to fight. Well, how about that? A surprise delivery? I feel as though so you know, I've decided to increase the amount of materials you can withdraw from here. All right, I'm ready to join the Chiral network.
Now displaying your current order grade.
Thanks to you, we can finally close the book on the mystery of the Headless Riders. Troubling rumors like that have a way of putting everyone on edge. Makes them want to stay inside all the more. Out here especially. Can't say any of us anticipated that the Riders would be ghost mechs, though. And those mechs have something to do with Higgs, too. Isn't that right? Well, now that we know the truth of the matter, we can come up with ways to combat them and their tactics. And then, maybe it'll feel like we're actually making some progress at long last. You know, you've got the makings of a real ghost hunter. I've shared with you some schematics for my favorite tools of the trade. A rocket box and a camo suit pattern. The rocket box fires MP warheads. It's a portable, versatile weapon that's perfect for dealing with all kinds of enemies. I'd heard a few stories about the red-clad warriors before you came through. That Higgs might be the one leading them came as quite the shock. He's the same bastard that's been distributing weapons all over the place, right? Trying to get everyone to take up arms and sow discord. Forming lasting connections is out of the question if we can't find common ground. The spread of weapons and violence is a lot more terrifying than any sort of paranormal activity, if you ask me. Ever since the Death Stranding, sightings of paranormal phenomena have been steadily increasing. Though a lot of these can be chalked up to simple misperception or misinformation. Among all these claims, tales of supernatural entities are especially common these days. And as a ghost hunter, I investigate the more promising reports to see if there's any truth to them. Fortunately, it's not feasible for me to go out and do research right now. So I have to rely on others to do my fieldwork for me. You've done some wonderful work for me, Sam. So much so that I'd love it if you could continue. I intend to carry on with my research. There are a few things that I'm still pretty curious about. Maybe they're nothing more than baseless rumors, but if any seem promising, I'll contact you via the SSS. I hope I can count on you when the time comes. Good luck with your deliveries. Take care.
good.
Thank you for coming, Sam.
Good, you're here. Let me bring up the orders now. You've kept it in such beautiful... You're always working so very hard, Sam. You are always so...
Now displaying your current quarter grade.
As thanks for your assistance, there is something I would like you to have. I believe you are finally ready to receive this. Read it to obtain the knowledge of yet another of my secret techniques. A great spinning pizza slam. It is based on traditional pizza tossing movements. With proper execution, it can be devastating to an enemy. Even the mechs you sometimes face would be no match. And what... That it...
We assume this delivery was lost. Now displaying your current quarter.
Get a move on.
Mine's heavier. Go! Hey! Hey, yeah!
This one's for you. Thanks, Kyle. Came in handy.
Hey, mine's heavier.
Easy now.
You've recovered everything then. Great. Let's get it delivered.
Let's get a move on.
Can anybody hear me? Hey! Yo! Keep on keeping on. Hey, Hey, mine's heavier.
Hello and welcome, friend. You've always been there for us, and so we want you to have this. It's bound to come in handy. Your material allowance has been...
Now displaying your current order grade.
This is an auto AED unit. It can be attached to your backpack. In the event you fall unconscious or suffer significant blood loss in the field, this device will activate automatically and get you back on your feet. But this will only grant you a temporary reprieve. Once it triggers, you'll need to avoid combat at all costs and retreat to a safe area while you still have the strength to do so. Anyway, it may well save your life one day. So keep it with you, huh? And see that you come back soon. That was some impressive work.
Hey, glad you could make it. I see you decided to... As thanks for your constant support, I have another gift to share with you. I'm increasing your allocation.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
It... Oh. Where did you dig this up?
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Thanks.
Order completed. Well done.
Thanks as always.
Your constant support hasn't gone...
Now displaying your current order grade.
Order completed. Well done. Order accepted. Thank you.